Greetings, everyone. Assalamu Alikum and peace and blessings to everyone. My name is Ansel Pratt. I'm the Executive Director of Emgage Florida. I wanted to first welcome all of our attendees and our panelists for participating in tonight's Community Forum for Congressional District 20. I also must mention that this weekend, we're also commemorating the 20th anniversary of September 11th, where nearly 3,000 lives were lost and many more were forever changed because of that terrorist attack. While this tragedy brought pain and suffering for everyone, I'm pretty confident many American Muslims felt like they paid the price twice. One as Americans, where we were attacked on September 11th, and another as Muslims where we were attacked afterwards through the policies which seemed to encourage a rise of hate crimes and Islamophobia that was directed towards our community for nearly 2 decades. Since that event, the Muslim community has long felt marginalized and scapegoated, but instead of moving off into the corner and hiding and giving into their feelings, they created a movement such as Emgage that counts their votes, fight for the policies that reflect their collective values, and their collective values, both of the Muslims and Americans, in order to support those who we feel will be allies for us in office. Public servants have joined us in exemplifying their values and fighting for human rights, social justice, and a more inclusive America. The purpose of this event is for our community to have an opportunity to hear from the candidates running for Congressional District 20 around the policies they feel are most important to them. So before we get started, a few housekeeping rules. This event is being recorded and live streamed, and God willing, Emgage will be reposting this back on our social media platforms later. All of the candidates will be given 2 minutes for an opening statement, and then 90 seconds to answer all subsequent questions. And then final wrap-up question, they will be, their closing statement, they'll be giving 60 seconds for that. We pre-selected several questions from our committee, but if there's folks that are on social media watching this that would like to offer up questions, please do so and utilize that in the chat. We have team members that will be monitoring that to be able to help get your question answered, God willing, if we can get to it. The only caveat that we ask for is that any question that you want to offer up is that question be directed towards all of the candidates. But without further ado, we'd like to get the program started and be respectful of everyone's time. So first and foremost, we're going to start out our opening statements with the Miss Sheila Surface McCormick to be able to start our opening statement. From there, we'll go to Rep. Bobby Dubose, then Rep. Hardy, Commissioner Holness, Mr. Emmanuel Morrell, Commissioner Barbara Sharif, and then Senator Perrythurston in that order for round 1. So without any further ado, the floor is yours, Miss Sheila.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sheila Sharif McCormick. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here at this forum. I look forward to addressing everyone, and I'm very excited to speak about the progress and how we can move forward the community as a whole. I am a mother, a wife, and I've been running for Congress for quite some time now because I believe in social change, I believe in economic change, and I also believe in healthcare change. I started by going to Howard University for undergrad. I went to University of Maryland for my master's in business administration, and St. Thomas University Law School. From there, I went on to do healthcare regulation, and presently I'm a CEO of a healthcare company. In that time, we provided over 1,000 jobs. During the pandemic, we were the largest vaccinators throughout the entire state, vaccinating the minorities in this state. We participated in Joe Biden's minority mission, and we were proud to do testing, vaccinations, and give jobs to the people who need it the most, members of our community. My platform is really grounded in economic growth. I feel like this is our moment for us to move our district forward in every aspect, in every way we can together. And we must address the world issues that are going on, any injustices that are going on outside the United States and within the United States. So I believe that we can come together as a whole and fight for our brothers and sisters and ensure that everyone has equal justice and equal treatment in this community. So I look forward to speaking to you further, and I thank you for this opportunity.
Awesome, thank you very much, and very timely. All right, next up we go with Rep. Bose. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Ansel. And I also want to thank Emgage for allowing me the opportunity to address you on this platform. I am State Representative Bobby Dubose. I'm currently the Democratic leader in the Florida House of Representatives. Prior to that, I served as commissioner in the city of Fort Lauderdale for about 6 years. And while I was there, served in the capacity of vice mayor, president of the Broward League of Cities, also sat on the Florida League of Cities executive board. I am a product of Broward County. I tell people I'm a product of two teenagers, and I was the first person in my family to attend college, and I graduated from the University of Florida. Go Gators! It was a good weekend for us. I'm also married to Yvette Dubose, and I'm the proud father of, like I like to categorize, we have 2/5 kids. 2 sons, Ethan and Jacob, but we also have the honor of having 3 bonus kids. We were blessed opportunity to raise my wife's sister's kids, Michael, Malik, and Bree. And when I came in their lives, they were 1, 3, and 6, and now they're 21, 22, and 25. And Bree recently graduated from Florida State. She's an educator here back home. And for those reasons, my priorities as I look at Congressional District 20 and some of the reasons why I'm running is access to healthcare. The pandemic has shown us how important it is and how our community has been disproportionately affected, as well as education. It's interesting around healthcare and this pandemic, there's a big fight about education, but the bigger picture is about traditional education and the dollars that are there. And also in this climate, prior to another priority is fair and just policing. And I look forward to the conversation. Again, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Rep. Dubose. And next up we have is going to be Rep. Hardy.
Thank you for bringing us together for this event. My name is Representative Omari Hardy, and I'm running for Congress in this special election to build on the legacy of Alcee Hastings. I serve currently in the Florida House of Representatives, and I represent District 88 there, which encompasses most of the urban and inner city communities in Palm Beach County. Before that, I served at the local level, right? So although I grew up in Broward County, graduated from the University of Miami, followed my parents' footsteps, both of whom are educators, and became an educator myself after moving to Lake Worth Beach. When I moved there, what got me involved, what led me to discover my passion for serving the underserved was the fact that although the city was a majority Black and brown city, there was not one person of color serving on the city commission there. And working class people, the poor, the immigrant community did not have a voice. So I ran and I won by just 18 votes and became the second person of color in the 100-year history of that city to serve in office. And while in office, I got into a lot of good trouble. We fought for community IDs back in 2018 and got them for our undocumented community. And I think you may have seen me stand up for my residents as the pandemic started, making sure that we weren't cutting off their utilities as folks were losing their job. And in the legislature, again, got into a lot of good trouble. You know, it said that the Republicans, the folks on the other side of the aisle, are not fans of mine. And I take that, frankly, as a compliment. In the United States Congress, after we have lost John Lewis, after we've lost Elijah Cummings, after we've lost Alcee Hastings, folks who overcame Jim Crow to serve in the United States Congress and to be a voice and a light for working class people, it's my intention to build on that legacy and continue fighting and continue getting in good trouble on behalf of justice, on behalf of working class people. We need someone who's going to stand up for Medicare for all. We need someone who's going to stand up not just for $15 minimum wage, but for our labor unions to pass the PRO Act, to repeal Taft-Hartley and make sure that everyone who is working has an opportunity to have a seat at the table and to have their voice multiplied through a union. So I appreciate you all for bringing us together, and I'm looking forward to this candidate forum. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Next up, we actually have Commissioner Holness. The floor is yours.
Assalamu Alikum. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm doing well. I'm grateful to participate in this forum this evening. And it's good to see that our Muslim community is participating in this political process. I believe the more inclusive we are as a nation, the stronger and greater we become. In fact, if you were to have traveled through Fort Lauderdale International Airport in 2020 while I was mayor, you'd have heard a greeting, Bienvenidos, Assalamu Alikum, Shalom, Namaste, Sak Passe, Wagwan. And that is done so that all of us in Broward County and our community understand that we're all a part of it and that we all should participate fully. I've been engaged within the Muslim community for many, many years. In fact, Masjid Al-Iman, which is located in my district, I am there often. I've prayed there. I've been there for Eid. And they call on me when they need help. They had an issue with parking with the community and with the county. I worked to resolve that. We got it resolved. They also had issues with getting building permit for zoning and code issues. Worked through that with them also. And it's been a long-standing relationship over 20 years. Even before I got elected, I was a part of that community with my friend Fluka Adams, who was one of the founding person for that masjid. So here we are in a country that's great, certainly it is. And as we recall 9/11, understanding that right after 9/11, we became a unified country. We're all together, working to ensure that we protect each other, regardless of your religious background, ethnicity, or your income. We were all Americans, one community. We must get back to that place where we understand the commonality of all of us. And Martin Luther King stated that we may come in different boats to this country, but we're all in it together now. So as we go forward, I want to be inclusive. I want to listen. And my good friend and intern, Mohamed Mujahid Ala Omari is here with me from Yemen. He's been around me for 3 years now, working as an intern, and now a close friend helping me to make sure I make the right connections within the Muslim community. Thank you so much for having us on for this forum.
Thank you very much. Okay, all right, stand by. The next one that we have is going to be Mr. Morrell. Mr. Morrell, the floor is yours, sir. Oh, I think you're on mute. Stand by 1 second. Can you try unmuting yourself now?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Go right ahead.
Yesterday, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me and the other candidates. Yesterday was 20 years. On that fateful day, I had decided not to go to work and was changing my youngest son's diaper when Katie Couric of the Today Show said that a plane had hit one of the World Trade Center buildings. I watched as the second plane hit the other building. It then became clear to me that we were under attack as the Pentagon got hit and later the plane crashed in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. This became my Pearl Harbor, as you will always remember your whereabouts when the news came that America had been hit. 20 years later, the wound remains raw. However, for 20 years, the tragedy of that day has transformed American Muslim life in deep and conflicting ways. The terrorist attacks of that day unleashed a deluge of anti-Muslim hate and misinformation that persists to this day. An American presidential candidate used that platform to become president of these United States. Muslims are still paying for the actions of terrorists which good Muslims had nothing to do with. I thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And the next person that we have is Commissioner Sharif. The floor is yours.
Assalamu Alaikum to everyone on the forum tonight. I am Commissioner Dr. Barbara Sharif. I am a Broward County Commissioner, and I've had the privilege of serving on the Broward County Commission for the last 11 years. I am the first African-American and Muslim female mayor of Broward County in its 100-year history. And I'm also the first African-American female president of Florida Association of Counties. I come from humble beginnings. My father and my mother were a member of Masjid Al-Ansar in Miami. I attended the Sister Clara Muhammad Elementary School. And what I can say to you tonight with my 2 minutes is that I have always been an avid supporter of our Muslim community by hosting the first iftar and Ramadan dinner for elected officials in Broward, to putting forth resolutions to have Ramadan and the month of, and a Muslim Heritage Month recognized throughout Broward and throughout Broward County schools. And I passed a resolution for education to be done within the Broward County school curriculum on Muslim American heritage. I think it's vitally important when you go to Congress to have diversity. I am a doctor of nursing practice, 28 years in the healthcare profession, and my focus is on improving the Affordable Care Act, Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid expansion, and decreasing prescription drug costs, as well as participating with the Democrats in the Biden Build Back Better plan with supporting Florida infrastructure. That means water as well as transportation. I've sat on the 16 County Coalition Water Resource Board, the 13 years on the Metropolitan Planning Organization. I have 6 college degrees, all in healthcare. I own South Florida Pediatric Home Care, which provides over 200 jobs to healthcare heroes, frontline heroes like myself. And I've been on the front of the HIV and AIDS pandemic, as well as COVID-19 from a professional standpoint. And I bring that experience to the table along with my business and entrepreneurial experience. I look forward to participating in this forum, and thank you for the invitation.
Thank you. And next up, we have Senator Thurston. The floor is yours, sir.
Hello, Assalamu Alikum, and good evening to everybody. I'm State Senator Perrythurston. I'm looking at the screen that says, okay, I'm State Senator Perrythurston, and I want to thank you all for hosting this event. I'm glad to be here with the other panelists. And I grew up right here in Broward County. I earned a scholarship to go off to Morehouse College. When I returned, I earned an academic scholarship to go to the University of Miami's law school. While I was there at law school, I interned with then Federal District Judge Al C. Hastings. I returned to Broward County, where I've practiced law for over 20 years before running for the House of Representatives. I know firsthand the injustices of our judicial system. I've tried over 200 jury trials. I ran for the Florida House because I wasn't quite happy with the representation that our community was receiving. I was elected, and then I was selected to be the leader of the Florida House. As the leader of the Florida House, I also picked up 10 seats to help change the agenda in Tallahassee. I was also elected to the Florida Senate. And after being elected to the Florida Senate, I was elected chairman of the Florida Legislative Black Caucus, where I served for 2 terms. And that's important because we were able to get quite a bit accomplished under my leadership as the chairman of the Florida Legislative Black Caucus. We're able to obtain funding for FAMU in the amount of $26 million. We were able to obtain funding for Bethune-Cookman College in the amount of about $13 million. We were also able to get funding for our Urban League in the amount of $2 million per year which they match with the commercial banks. And I say that because what I think is important about this election is our record, our resume, and our results. And I invite your listening audience to compare those things with each of the candidates. And I ask you to select the best candidate for this position. My focus will be healthcare, criminal justice reform, and a strong education system.